Welcome to our podcast.
Welcome to the podcast. I was gonna keep it going.
And keep it going. All right, we had to do a small little cut because this dude had music playing around when he was getting ready.
Yeah.
You know what? I came in here. I just heard you just singing.
Yeah,
Just singing. But again, welcome to our podcast.
Welcome to the podcast.
Occasion and Purpose.
Occasion and
If
Purpose.
this is the first time you saw us, I'm Doug or Dougie, depending on who you ask, and this is my good friend Josh McCaw. Stupid.
Macaw.
And yeah,
Thank
this
you,
is
Sarah Hyde.
this is
She
just
made that. She
what
Sarah Hyde was the person who patented Macaw.
patent fun.
She's the first one that I ever seen somebody do that with my last name. I kind of dig it now.
Oh, okay.
But at first I was like, kind of like, a little standoffish.
Yeah, like I said, this is the podcast that happens. We go off on tangents, and it is what it is.
It is what it is.
But we were talking about, and the last time we spoke, I guess in front of the camera, did a podcast. When was it?
Ooh,
What was it,
last year. Definitely last year.
And
October?
What was the last thing we talked about?
I just
don't
looked.
remember.
It was.
I don't remember half the conversation we had.
It was called. The last one that I have on the record was called "I Need Help." Now, if we did another one after that one, it probably didn't get published. But
I think we did, and we did not publish it because it was like something bad happened, or we need to stop doing that. But again, you mostly take the full.
Sometimes
this
if
is all
like
you
if
stuff.
a technical issue and it's like really like just not working out, I will scrap it. And I hate to do that, but like it's we have to.
I mean, it's true. Part of me rather wishes we had, at least if the audio works, just release the audio.
Yeah, and I can always do that.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
if it happens, then I'll just release audio from this point on.
Yeah,
so y'all can get the content out.
And if you have it on Spotify, find us on Spotify. Same exact thing. Occasion and Purpose.
Occasion
I'm
and
done
Purpose.
plugging. I hate plugging, but
Yeah,
we were talking about just like stuff we were doing, and I've been doing some poetry on my thing. I've been
It's
constantly
been
doing.
beautiful, by the way.
Thank you for.
I mean,
that.
beautiful and like it's deep. I'm so sorry, like in a poetic way. Like it's moving.
Sorry.
Poetry.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying those kind words. I always think of it as more of a very, I guess how most people say it, very depressing. And I don't mean to be. Honestly, half the time I don't mean to be. But it's just words that I've found that just fit well together. And it kind of just, okay, cool. This also kind of just shows this little image that is playing in my head right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how I write. That's usually how I write things. And occasionally I do have like actual stuff that I'm feeling that I do write and I do post, and people are like, "Oh wow, like are you okay?" I'm like, "No."
Yeah.
But I will be. I mean, it is what it is.
Oh my gosh,
That's
I have so much to say.
What
I have
to-
so
what
much
do you have to
like.
say? What
I
do you
have
have
a
to say?
topic of this podcast, but we're gonna ease our way into it because we have so much to go over.
Well, it's mostly again I guess because we wanted to talk about we have like what's new in our lives and stuff. And
Yeah, we have to do that first.
Yeah. So I mean, that's one of the things that I've been
So
doing.
you're a bartender now.
I am now a bartender. Yes.
I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
really am.
Thank
I
you.
know it's
Not a bar. Well,
controversial.
here's the thing. Not a bartender.
You're barback
I'm
still?
barback. Yes,
Okay,
thank you.
okay,
I'm barback. Pouring barback. So I know some things I am allowed to serve alcohol and to mix things, but for the most part, I am basically still barback.
Yeah.
And I'm still just kind of learning.
You
the
just
ropes and stuff like that.
when I see you in your groove and you're making the drinks, I used to be a barista. I used to be I know you go through. I know. I can make a mean latte. You
Never not once made me coffee.
never have.
Never once made. You have never
Look at
once
that Keurig
made.
machine.
You
Let me get that Keurig machine out.
Yeah, that's the barista. That's the barista. You just hand me the thing.
I can make
You know how to press a mean button.
I can press some buttons.
You can
Doug.
press
I
some buttons. You can press some buttons and make some hot water.
But when I see you bartend though, it's dope. Like you're in your groove.
I'm a good copycat.
Yeah.
That's the best thing. That's the only way I've when people say it's like I'm a good copycat. I mean, this is just whatever I'm doing. I saw my boss and my other boss do it multiple times, and I just work with them so much, and now I'm just like I kind of just either mimic what they do or try to like, oh, this is how I saw them do it. I'm gonna do the exact same thing type of thing. So yeah, it's an odd. Honestly, it's a little weird. I mean, I think we talked about this before, just because I've still been working at that bar. It's the same bar that I was working at before. Gold Room. Not like a room. Gold Room is the bar that my other buddy, my former manager, he's working in now. He's actually the manager. Shout out to you. Proud of you, buddy. You're doing great. Gold Rail Bar is the place that I'm at now.
Gold Rail.
In England, if you guys want to check it out and say hello, go for it. If you guys of age, if you're not, you will be kicked out kindly.
Yeah.
Not by me, though. There's another guy.
By the Doug.
No. Like I said, I'm not the bouncer anymore. That's not me. But I will kick you out. It's like, you leave, please.
They do check IDs.
We do check IDs, yeah.
That's good.
But that's kind of where I've been at for the entire time, and kind of just moving up little by little. And I'm fortunate and blessed enough to have coworkers and a boss that kind of just understands that I'm willing to put in the work, and also is respectful enough in, I guess, my aspect in faith and my relationship with God too, because I have time to continue on going to church and continue. There's never like, where it's like, no, he lets me. It's like, all right, do your thing, do what you need to do, and then when it's time, so which again, find incredible, that's not, you don't really always get that.
You don't.
And I have a little bit of freedom. Like I have enough freedom where I can just like, I can do other things as well, which is kind of what I'm doing now. I want to use what I know and my experience with people as I'm serving them, and when I talk to them, to kind of inspire this thing that I'm doing with poetry and stuff. Because I told you a little bit recently that I want to make this into an actual thing. Like I want to publish my thing. So I'm just in a writing process right now of just trying to write as much as I can. So I have a goal to reach like 300 something poems, maybe 4.
Because do you remember when we first got together, what you did?
No, I didn't.
we went to where I was living at, and we got the audio, and you read poetry.
Oh yeah, I remember
that.
Remember?
That was the first time we hanged out outside of college.
That was like the first time. You needed help or something.
Full circle though, but like that video is somewhere I found it and I lost it again. But it's probably on this computer.
I still have the audio. I have both.
You have the,
I have both audios.
I'm glad somebody got it.
Yeah, I still have it. Somehow we did it, and it was just like it's on my Apple Music.
That's so cool.
It's on my.
Well, after this, I want to hear it. If not, send it to me, and I'll add it at the end of this video.
Guys, it's so bad, and I cringe.
Your poetry now is on point.
Thank you, and I have noticed that too.
It really is on point.
Before, I felt like it was a little bit like somewhat loose and stuff. It wasn't really, but I feel like now I found something that I'm like I'm grasping into it, and I'm a little bit more maturing in my writing and stuff. It's a little bit more, I guess I will say mature. I'll just leave it at that. It's a little bit more mature.
It's more mature.
But also, I like to add some things that I think it's funny. So when I read it, I chuckle. But other people are like, I'm like, oh. It's like
that's the crude humor.
It's not even crude humor. I just thought it was funny because I was like reading my one of my old coworkers. She let me borrow Charles Bukowski book, and it's a bunch of poetry, and I'm just reading through it. And one of these things, he's talking about how his father had an affair and his mother found out, and he got so angry with his dad. I think they fought in the story, and he was like enraged with anger. He was deaf and stuff for a bit and couldn't hear. And then he heard later on that he got so drunk at a bar and someone like fought his father and broke his arm, and that was the end of that poem. I was like, someone broke my father's. That was the end. It's like I think that was the end. It's like someone broke my father's arm.
But did he recover?
There's no. And once I read that, I immediately started laughing. I'm like, I get it. Oh my gosh! Like, no, yeah, I get it. That's kind of where I am. It sounds sad, but I feel like he probably was like, I thought it was funny. I could be a terrible human being for laughing at that, but yeah, it's something that I also write, and I find humor in my thing sometimes. I'm just like, this seems funny, but I understand that it's not for the faint of heart. I guess for most people, because again, most people don't like being in that moment. People like being sad because it brings up more bad stuff, so they rather get away from all of it altogether, so you don't feel it or talk about it or think about it, because it's just so a terrible place to be in, and it's kind of just be in that it can engulf people and people don't know how to get out. And then we talked about this before. It's a thing. So yeah, but none of this sad stuff, poetry and things. How are you, NASA, buddy? You in NASA? So we talked about this last time.
We probably have talked about this before, but I think beforehand it wasn't really. It might have been confirmed already, but I was still an intern, and like you guys have, if you want, you can go on the YouTube and watch the whole story. Like we document all this stuff. It's amazing.
Honestly, there is parts. where it's like, hey, I'm doing this, can't talk about it. And then you're like, hey, I got this letter from NASA, and I have like an internship, and now you're like,
oh yeah. Now it's official.
That's awesome.
When
that's
I get
incredible.
back from Japan, I will officially be a NASA JPL employee. I'm going to Japan on Friday. I will be on the plane on Friday.
Oh, okay.
So your time, I'm so sorry. Yeah, your time Saturday, or is it Sunday? Yeah, your time Saturday, I should be in Japan. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how that works.
How long is the flight?
11 hours.
Ooh.
So I leave Friday morning.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll leave Friday morning. So it's gonna be fun. But yeah,
Switch and everything. You're prepared.
Yeah, Switches. I got all the consoles like, out. They're fully charged.
You're just ready,
bro. I'm ready for that Mario Kart Remax, bro. Cause I got a little build now. You're not ready for it.
Oh, you're not ready for my build right now. I've been playing recently again.
My YouTube, the algorithm, bro, got me back on Mario Kart.
My buddies from work kind of got me into it. Right. I was like, "Are you done working?
Are you Luigi? Are you doing Luigi?
No, I'm not. I'm Toad.
Oh, the small cart?
I'm Toad.
Oh, bro, Baby Mario. Woo! Bro, oh yeah, you know the game then. Okay, we'll
I know the build. I know the build, buddy. I know the build. And I know not by making research or anything. I learned by just watching other people. I'm like, oh, got it. See, this is what happens. We went seriousness about depression, NASA, Japan. Now we're talking about Mario Kart.
This is why they come to us.
Do they really come to us? They come to you.
I don't bop well of other people but Doug. It's we can just go.
Not true. You have other people on this podcast that I was not aware of.
Those are interviews that they come to me and
I honestly believe that like Josh over here is also like a secret cyclist. Do you see how he's backpedaling right now, dude? It's so good.
I should be a lawyer.
No, dude, because I found you out right now. Terrible. I just found you out. No. This guy, I legit, like, no, when we first started, it's like, yeah, great, you're doing great stuff. And then I see a video, I'm like, I'm not in that. I was not told about this. This is our thing.
So, NASA is coming up. So, yeah, we'll be a NASA JPL employee coming in April 18th. So when I get back from Japan, it has been a crazy while. You know, so many people come to me and ask me, how did I do it? How do you do it? And honestly, like, it's so much. Like, especially, number one, it depends on what major you're in. It depends, like, where you're going to, or what you're going to school for. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, if you're like me in the tech world, I mean, you can go anywhere. So you have to really specialize in something for NASA to choose you. Like, so I'm doing data in within cybersecurity, and so I work on mission protection, right? So, for example, if a mission is getting shot up into space, mm-hmm. we have all the procedures and all the softwares and capabilities to make sure we're monitoring mm-hmm. the performance of that rocket or that or that rover or lander or whatever. It's mm-hmm. connected to the right servers and all that good stuff. It's awesome. So.
This is the first time you told me what you do.
Yeah.
That's
what I do.
It's actually the first time. I've never used like data, like what, collection?
Yeah.
Analyst? Yeah, collection. Yeah. That's all you told me. I'm like, cool. And then I just took it. I'm like, I don't know what he does with it, but he collects it.
I have it. Well, it's a lot. Well, it's defending. It's priority defending. Uh-huh. So, and there's a lot of things that happen like that we have to log. Like, for example, if there are things that are like people aren't connected to the right stuff, or their system's out of date, or just anything. It could be anything related to cyber in our metrics. Mm-hmm. We have to make sure that it's being tracked, the right people know what's going on, then correct those things.
That whole JPL area is crazy.
Oh yeah, it's insane.
It's so cool.
Oh yeah,
like I was able to get like he gave me like a small tour just as a guest and stuff. It was so cool. It was so cool. The museum and stuff that they have there, all the other things. Just science is weird.
Science is awesome.
Space is fun.
Space is fun. It's a cool topic to just even like. You can just be an advocate. You don't have to even know or have a physics degree. You know, you can just be curious about like, oh, what's in the atmosphere. Like I listen to a lot Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he talks about like he can break down like nuclear fusion. And you may not know the physics behind nuclear fusion, but like it's but you could explain it, right? I mean, you could explain it to somebody. I mean, you get a lot of dust from a sun that's exploded or a sun forming and heat is traveling at the speed of light, just banging and banging, atoms colliding and that creates nuclear fusion. And that's how stars are born.
You said a lot of things, and the one thing I'm hooked on is that the sun has dust.
Well, dust is how suns are created.
Did not know that.
Yeah. abs getting heated up and whatnot.
What was our astronomy teacher's name?
Dr. Marshall.
Dr. Marshall? He would be very upset with me for not knowing that, probably.
No,
you know what? You're right. He did not care.
He didn't.
He did not care about me. He did not care about me.
Well, you made an introduction. That was so grand. You were the default student.
It wasn't. First of all,
he
not
won't last
true.
about 4 weeks.
I lasted the entire thing. Did I pass? No. But there was.
You did stay the entire time.
I went the.
Jerry got out.
Jerry didn't leave.
He got out quick.
I blame Jerry for the introduction. All right. If I wasn't with Jerry, I would have been fine. If I would have left Jerry, I would have been fine. Still would have been right next to you and probably like, hey, can I borrow a pen? And it would have been even like more of a yeah, sure.
And then the classroom's dark. So like y'all open the door, like heaven opens up. Boom! We're like, whoa! What the heck? Who are these guys?
It's just that, just that.
Y'all come in, bro. It's hilarious. I'm just like, who are
We're
these?
both 260 something pounds. Just he's 6 foot something. No, he's 5'11", 5'8" here, and just like
Y'all, it's so funny, but I love it.
I don't really. You know what? I really look back at those days, and then I realize I'm like, that's why that person moved from me. Because there was a person near me, and they're like, I'm like, yeah.
And that one guy that always slept behind us, that was snoring, like,
every day, dude, every day, every day. No, the worst was the last day. Was for the final. He slept the entire thing because you just hear him just. That's all you heard, and the thing is, it was so quiet half the time that we couldn't really know what the hell was happening until everyone was quiet. We're like, how was that?
That's what it was. That is literally how it was, y'all. He's bringing it down to the T.
Our Professor Marshall, he would just be like, he would be small pauses like, okay, continue on.
Well, guys, he had a great voice.
It's such a soothing voice. That's why I fell asleep so much.
Very therapeutic.
It's so dark. Oh, the rain.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you guys can hear the rain, but it's like raining cats and dogs here in LA.
It's crazy.
I'm looking here. I should be looking over here. It is terrible right now. The driving over here was so bad.
I know.
Driving over here was so.
Doug came here in the rain, guys.
I was
Doug.
Honestly, hey, I made it in faster than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah. You know, I always wanted, because I used to watch iCarly growing up, and I always wanted a little, like, box that could do, like, the clapping and the audience going, oh, you know, that Sam had.
I'm looking at you guys, because, you know, that's already a thing, and we just need to get.
Yeah, we need to have that.
It's just a big.
Yeah, we need to get. I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna get one when I come back, and so so we can mimic you guys.
Hey, see if you can get it in China, or Japan. Maybe there might be something cheaper over there.
Oh, if I get it in Japan,
get it in Japan, it'll be cheap.
Battery powered or something.
Just the whole thing. It'll be great.
Yeah.
It'll be cheaper.
Yeah,
it'll probably be way cheaper over there.
We'll get it, but yeah. So with NASA and everything, it was it's been a wild ride, and it really it's hard because it's not the stuff I went to college for. It's a little bit different. It's very more centered around data and cyber, and I didn't really get a degree in cyber. I got a degree in computer science.
Yeah.
So it's a different type of coding that I do. But I will say this, you know, when you want to work somewhere, like no matter where it's at, if it's at a bar, or if it's at, you know, at an organization like NASA, I mean, you have to overcome a lot of obstacles. It's hard.
I would say it's also who you know.
Ooh.
That's the thing. It's who you know. It's the biggest thing. It's who you know, because again, it's you got in. And it's like you put in the work. I'm not gonna discredit any of that. You put in the work for this. But also it's that luck, it's that blessing, it's just that's who you know, it's who you've said hi to, it's who you like, hey, how's it going?
Let me explain to you how right Doug is. So I was in the Kia, my black car, right? And it had some car trouble in 2017. I just came to California. I was living in Glendale. And I went to Amco in Pasadena. You know the Chick-fil-A in Pasadena?
Yeah, we went there multiple times.
There's an Amco.
We went there multiple times.
There's an Amco right next to it. And so I took it to the Amco to get it looked at. And I met this dude named Matt. And he was a mechanic. And so he was just I was like, I gotta be nice to the mechanic because like he knows car. I don't know anything about a car.
You gotta be nice to everyone you meet.
And everyone you meet.
Anyone you meet, you gotta be nice to. But go ahead.
But especially Matt, because I was like, dude, he knows cars. I don't know anybody but my dad. He's 3,000 miles away. I didn't know Doug or anybody at the time. So and then Matt was really cool because he was like, dude, you play Xbox? And I was like, I do play Xbox. And so we would always like hang out online or somewhat and just kind of stay in contact. And Matt would always call me like once a month, like out the blue. And just be like, yo, man, I'm telling you about my life. And I was like, okay, cool, let's do it. You know, we were just talking. You know, we became really close friends. And so one day, Matt was like, hey, I got a girlfriend. And I was like, and you have a girlfriend, you know? Awesome, good for you. I didn't think it was going to be anything serious. But he was like, no, we're really close. And we're getting steady. I was like, awesome, dude. And he was like, but she works at NASA. I'm freaking out. But I played it so cool. I was like, oh, cool. You know? And he was like, wait, isn't that your dream job, right? And I was like, oh.
I'm like, yeah, but whatever, man. It's cool. Like NASA's dope and all, but like it's not like
she could have been.
It's not working at the movie theater, bro. I get to see movies every day, man, for free, dude. I get my boys in there too, man. I was like, NASA is a place where I would love to work at and stuff. Yeah, why? Why do you ask though? Seriously, why do you ask? I have a resume. What do you ask?
That was exactly it. That was like how I played it off. And she could have been an engineer. She could have been in the business department. So, you know, you got to take those things with what they are. And so, but he was like, no, she does computer science stuff. You're a major. I was like, great. I was like, this is awesome. Keep me posted. Randomly, he didn't bring it up ever, like after that. He told me this information and just never brought it up again. I didn't bring it up to him because I respect our friendship. And then one day around Christmas time, before Christmas of 2021, I want to say. When was it? 2021 Christmas. He texts me. He's like, yo, what's your LinkedIn? And then I sent him my LinkedIn. And my LinkedIn is like pretty fire. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, to be humble. But it's a great LinkedIn. And so
to not be humble, pretty fire.
She saw it and she was like, oh my gosh, you're the perfect fit. And so she texts, Matt was, I'm going to send my number to my girlfriend. She wants to talk to you. We talked and she was like, yeah, I'm going to get you in somehow. And then she got me this job interview, but then I was still in college. And the guy was like, oh, we need somebody more full time. And so I was like kind of bummed out. And then she was like, well, if that didn't work out, I'm going to get you in under me. And that actually might be better because the job that she got me was more of a like, kind of like watching the data, like watching for alerts that pop up, you know, and act on it. Where like this job is more like you really work for NASA, you know, you're actually doing some pretty important stuff. So she was like, yeah, I'll help you get an internship. Just, you know, we'll see what happens. Never calls me back again. Yeah. Like literally like 4 months. I just sit there, she just said, yeah, I got you, but like that was it. So I was like kind of having doubts. I was like, man, like NASA doesn't want me. So I started applying to other jobs at like Pepperdine and whatnot. And then out the blue, I had an interview at Pepperdine, and the day before my interview, she calls me. So can you come for an interview like in like either today or tomorrow? And I was like, I can come whenever you want me to. She was like, okay, let's do it tomorrow, and we'll do it through like Zoom or whatever. And so I had the interview at NASA, and then I got in as an intern, and then from there, I mean, it was a temporary intern. It was a 1 month internship or 2 months internship.
Well, show the clip. Show the clip where you talk about it when you first get the internship.
Well, what clip was this?
We're downstairs. When I broke the chair.
Oh, that was it. Yes. Yes, we will get that.
That's when I broke the chair. That's when I like did. I was like, chair. That's when you didn't help me. I was like, hey, can you help me out? I'm falling. I was like, you just laughed. You laughed at me. You left me. It was
so funny.
It was so slow. You couldn't help me. I couldn't get up. Anyway, continue on.
Anyway, I got the internship and it was temporary. And then I found out they loved me and they extended it. And then after they extended it, that's when I was kind of like thinking to myself, she was like, we're going to get you in as a JPO. We're going to get you in as an employee. And I was like, great. Because there's two ways you can join NASA at JPO. You can be a contractor. Contractors make less money. Contractors don't have a lot of benefits. They have no benefits.
Benefits.
You literally just are contracted to work there. Whereas if you become a JPL NASA employee, you get crazy benefits. You get great pay. Like you are in there. You know what I'm saying? And so it was hard. She was like, I don't know how we're going to make it happen, but we're going to make it happen. So I was like, cool. I don't know how, but she did it. And then just a series of fortunate events happened randomly at NASA, and then she was like, Josh, I think we can get you in. They approved you. She actually told I have 2 bosses higher than her, and she was like, yeah, so I can just get Josh as a contractor if we can't work it out. They were like, no, we want Josh as an employee. I was like, whoa, it blew my socks off. Yeah, and then Christine was like, she was like, yeah, you're gonna
take him.
Yeah, it was a foot action, guy. Yeah, Christine was like, yeah, you got it, and then that was it.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
dude.
so I've been like, dude, it has set in now, but like, dude, it's been, I don't,
again, it's all about the work that you put in, so the people you have to. Yeah. It just
who you know.
It's who you know. It's not even just. It's who you say hello to. Who you're kind to. Honestly, because you went from like, hey, my car is messed up. Can you fix this? The guy's like, cool, got it.
To a mechanic.
You play Xbox? I do. All right, cool. We're gonna link up. We'll play Xbox.
Yeah.
And just that was it. That was it. He just came up to you. He was like, I want to talk about my life with you because apparently, like, you seem cool enough, and I can just tell you stuff. Yeah. And he just for a year, what?
Yeah, for literally since 2017.
So yeah, I just say within 12 conversations, you're in.
Yeah. That was it. Yeah.
That's great, dude. That's awesome.
You don't know. Yeah, God's amazing, man. Yeah. And so that's how I just wanted to say you're right. But yeah.
So honestly. I mean, I got lucky from who I knew. Yeah. I mean, I went to that place. I went to that bar a few times. Just became cool with the owner. And became cool with the other bartenders and stuff. And just like took photos for them and did all this stuff. And they were looking for someone, and I told them, it's like, hey, I don't have a job right now. I'm willing to work. It's like, what do you got? It's like, I'll be clean. Like, I was like, I've been a janitor. I've been security. Yeah. I can do whatever. Give me the tools or whatever. I got this, and they gave me a shot. Yeah. And he legit gave me a shot, not knowing anything, and then I'm here. I'm at where I am now, which is nowhere. I just took my first baby step basically. Yeah. I'm like, I'm not even it's still going. Yeah, it's a still thing, and I am blessed to have that place, especially a place where I'm close enough to home where I can take care of my family. If they need me, I'm right there, and also close enough to my job. Or if anything happens, I'm also close to that because usually I just work and go home.
Let me ask you this as a personal question, because I know some people who are in the trenches right now, and I remember I was in the trenches. I actually just posted about that in my story today, and when you were probably at your I won't say I don't know what your rock bottom might be, but when you were not in this situation, so it had to be worse than this. What was a motivating factor to keep going? Because you don't know who you're gonna be, you don't know where these interactions might take you. So what what gives you hope?
I honestly, I'll be dead honest. I guess it's just the promise of what I was told, like what the promise that was stored upon me. This debt that was paid for me, that I was given. I was given a debt-free life, basically. Yeah. A debt-free, sin-free. I just gotta continuously walk, and then that's kind of the thing that kind of even though it gets tough. I will say it gets real tough, and I want to give up. I'm not gonna lie to you. I want to give up sometimes. It feels terrible. I don't want to continue on. Why would you still put your hand on the fire if it hurts? Why would you still do it? Right? It's kind of a thing. You wouldn't, right? But it's a thing. It happens. So sometimes some people have this extreme idea that if I can't keep my hand out of the fire, I might as well cut it off, right? It's still not good. Yeah. It still doesn't work. So for me, it's just I have to constantly remind myself that I was like, I'm not really living for myself, really, in a sense. And it sounds weird, and it cannot be grasped by most people, and I understand that. I completely get it. But it's like I'm not really living for myself. I'm living to provide at least something that's, I guess, that will last a little bit longer than I will, type of thing. I wanna like the same thing, same exact thing. Jesus has given us something that lasts long terms, forever and ever, right? Yeah. I just want to do just kind of the exact same thing that he did. And it causes us to do the exact same thing. Be like him. Walk like him.
Yeah.
I want to give that same love, that same kindness, and also still walk with authority and confident enough to be secure in where I'm at. That's kind of the thing. And if it sounds contradictory from how my brain is fired and what I'm saying, but again, it's what it's inside. That's the best part, and that's the thing that most people like. I can't really like have someone, I guess, grasp unless they know it or they're in it. Is that even though my brain says stop, it's like just give up.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, what it feels inside, what the soul is saying is no, we're gonna keep going because I have someone greater than who I am.
Wow.
That's kind of the thing.
Wow.
That's the biggest thing, and that's the hardest thing that I go through. So that's why I'm in therapy. I'm in therapy now. It's been going good. I'm fixing. Yeah. We all need therapy. But I'm in therapy now, and I'm trying to get better, and I'm learning a few different things on how to deal with like how I am and stuff. But yet, I'm still solid in my faith and in my relationship with God.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Like again, it sounds contradictory, but I guess that's the part that's so good. I guess the fact that you don't need to get it. It's not. Yeah. It's not. It's your thing. It's mine. This is my relationship. It's not for you to get. It is for you to get, but it's for you to get.
To get it.
Not from me, but you get it. You don't get it.
What fills my cup is different from what fills your cup.
And you have to empty your cup sometimes. So that's the thing. We already know we have to empty your cup.
Wow.
But that's the thing. So even though reiterate this, and then if you guys want to like understand a little bit more, I was like,
make a post on Instagram.
Hey, make a post on Instagram. Maybe you do thing. Maybe that's the thing. Yeah, maybe I will do it, huh? Maybe I will. Probably won't do it actually.
I'll ask him while I'm gone.
But honestly, even though my brain says stop going, even though there's a thing that tells me to stop going, the thing that's inside of me that's greater than that is telling me to continue on. I was like, that's a thing, and it's hard. It's hard to grasp. It's hard. It's even hard for me to understand it too.
Yeah,
it really is. But I'm not saying I don't say words just to say words. I'm very much literal in how I speak.
Yeah.
I think that's why people don't get me. If people think part of put meaning in my words when I'm like, no, I'm speaking literal. I'm very much serious in what I'm saying. There's no other thing. No, I'm saying for reals. It tells me to stop. Things inside of me that the Lord has given me tells me to keep going. So that's the thing. So that's like, it's that push, that drive.
Yeah,
it got hot in here. I'm bald now too, guys. Surprise.
Doug is bald, but it's growing on me.
Oh my God,
it's growing on me. I love it.
So hot in here.
It is hot. When you do a podcast,
it got hot in here.
It gets hot.
The lights. I was gonna say the lights. Also, it just got heated. This is a very real, I guess, conversation. I don't have that with many people. Yeah. Again, we call it occasion on purpose, right? The occasional conversations that you have with a purpose. Look at that.
Purpose, guys.
Slogan, whatever.
People don't understand. Like they're like, why Doug? Why Doug?
Yeah, get someone else.
I know.
Can you get someone else that's graduated college?
No,
I don't know.
And like I do want to address all this because it's been on my mind recently because I don't really care about how smart you are or what you know.
Thanks, man.
And I'm not saying you don't you're lacking anything, but like I can really enjoy hearing you speak. Like I personally I do. I can sit back and just like be profounded by some of the words that you say. And then I love what you said because it's the heart that makes the human such a great person. And Doug, I think your heart is so great. And think that's what people don't get in life is like having people like Doug by your side who's just gonna stand by you no matter what. I would never forget. I told Kevin this because Kevin can relate to me. I was like, it was on probably Christmas or Thanksgiving. I don't know what holiday it was, and I had nobody here. And I called Doug, and Doug was like, yo, come to my house. My mom's making some tamales. You got to come and just get some. And I was like, bet I'm on the way. And that got me through the holiday. Like, just spending time with just anybody. But you were the only one that kind of opened your door.
You missed tamales last year. Because Kevin came over last year.
Kevin came over. Yeah, I was fortunate enough to go home.
You were fortunate enough to go home, too.
And I don't take that for granted. But that's the kind of heart people need, and this can be for a later podcast, I'm sure, because I feel like a lot of people this generation are losing that sense of having that heart for somebody, Having that I'm not here to please myself. I'm not here to chase this agenda. I'm just here to make people better.
It's a hard thing to do, and it's a conversation that I have with my coworkers. It's very difficult to have that heart for some people and yet also protect your own and not get hurt. It's extremely difficult.
What time are we at? Is it going to be an hour? Are we at an hour? I don't even know
what time it is.
We're at 34 minutes. We're good.
Good. But it's true.
It's getting good.
It's true. It's really hard to grasp because even like my friend, she's telling me, it's like you can't like give all towards people. Sometimes you gotta like, but I'm like, I understand it, but that's inside is like no. It's like I rather their way or other person, their thing is way more than myself. I rather lay myself down and have someone else step over me than type of thing. And it's hard. And again, it's difficult. It's a very hard thing to do in grass because to honestly do it, you really are just saying no to yourself and letting someone who's possibly might take advantage. But even though you're hoping and you're wishing them nothing but the best to continue on, they still might hurt you, and
it's okay. And that's a lot of men. It's hard. We had this whole conversation too with one of my friends, and I always said this like, okay, you're gonna get hurt. You might get hurt, but does not mean you should show to your heart. I think that it's a great song. It's an R&B song, and he says love and hate or just love and heartbroken, they're one and the same, right? To experience love, you will have to go through heartbreak.
If you're looking at the story of the crucifixion, the love that Jesus had for us was so much, and then the love that God had for for us and all of us was, again, he watched his own son die. Oof. Again, he watched his own. He's loving all that. It's like all that love. He did it for him. He sacrificed himself. Yet he's watching his son give himself up for these people.
Yep.
Again, is it very hard to grasp? Of course it is. It's hard to really like. It's something inside that we're just like, no, it doesn't seem right. And I mean, I'm the first one to get and be like, yep, you're right. Yeah. It's difficult to understand. Yeah, you're right. And I don't really have another explanation to make someone understand, but it is, and it's something you have to do, something you have to take steps in to find out yourself. You have to do it internally and while you're like walking with God and having those questions, which is not bad to ask questions. It's really not.
And I think that's what I want to work on with how we're going to build all this. It's asking those questions and building up that type of faith, that type of love, and getting our hearts right. That's my goal, at least this year. And if your heart gets broken, but I don't want to be so stuck within myself that I don't allow myself to love again. I don't allow myself to be be who I am, to enjoy just Josh. I want to be able to be my authentic self. Respect the boundaries that I have, but at the same time, don't let these boundaries enclose the love of God in my life.
Of course. Can't have that. Why? Because again, remember, we have to think about this. The people that we might not like, we said this before, God also saved them as well.
That's true.
Jesus died for them too. The people that you don't, so
that's true.
There is that. That's a thing that is, it's a weird thing. It really, if you're just saying words, it's hard to grasp. Like how? Why? He hurt. They hurt.
But they broke. They exactly. I gave them love.
It doesn't matter. Love them still. But you can love people.
It's hard.
You can love people from afar and not be there.
She took advantage of my heart, dog.
Are you gonna take advantage of other people?
Ooh, talk to him, dog.
Are you gonna take advantage of other people because they did it too? I'm sorry. Are you gonna fight cancer because they took it from you? Are you gonna fight the physical thing? Are you going to fight that physical person that did damage to you or that broke you, that gave you all this trauma? What are you going to do? You're going to fight them? What's that going to continue on? What's that going to do? What's really going to do? You get physical. You do whatever. You try to run away. But if you don't fix here, you don't fix this, it's not going away. That's the thing. You have to. That's the thing. You have to fix that. You have to be willing. That's the best part. You have to be willing to love someone and get hurt so that love can be greater than what they have. Your love has to be greater than theirs, so their love doesn't kill you. That's the thing.
I can't snap, but y'all know if I can snap.
That's the thing. Your love has to be way better than theirs, because their love could be terrible. their love could be toxic. Their love could be so much damaging that it takes everything that you've ever like held you as a person. But if you have Jesus, you have the Holy Spirit on you. Have that love.
Amen.
Their love is way better than anything else anyone has. That's why.
Right.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Your love has to be so much better, so it overcomes theirs. That it won't. Whatever they do won't hurt you. Why? Because you just gave them what Jesus has given you in the Holy Spirit.
But Doug, I hear you. I knew Jesus and the love, but I'm scared. That's the last thing I'm gonna say. But I'm scared.
You're scared. You think Jesus wasn't scared? Man was sweating blood. Take this cup from me. If you so shall choose, but no, he still took that cup, right? Still took the cup. It's okay. If you're gonna do something scared, do it scared. If you're scared to do something, do it scared. I'm scared. People are like, "Oh, you're a big tough guy." Type of thing. No, I'm not. We all get scared. I am terrified. I'm more terrified of myself than anything else. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm not scared of most people out there. What's going on? I'm more terrified of myself. That's the thing. But I have to continue on. The love. And the full on just like I know who my God is gives me that courage more than it does give me fear. Yeah. Even though it does get overwhelming, I have more courage in my faith than I do have fear. This went everywhere. This went a little bit everywhere. We talked about
it was amazing.
I honestly, this I feel like it went a little bit too much in different things, different topics. But I feel like
watch it. I thought it was good.
But I do feel like most people might have found something in there, found some humor and stuff that you might laugh at, might whatever, think we're dumb or whatever, or you might find something that will help you out or help someone out.
It's a podcast. It's a podcast. You can't judge a podcast that much.
Yeah, I'm just man. I make these podcasts. I'm like, all right, cool. If it does well, cool. If it doesn't, well, it's still up there.
It's still up there, you know. I'm gonna enjoy it.
What in a few years? Watch. You're gonna have kids.
At least they got. That's what I said.
They're gonna look up sometimes like, Dad, is this you? Is that Uncle Doug?
Oh, the camera just died. Oh well.
Oh no.
Yeah. The tripod doesn't allow for the battery to be in there.
Well, I guess you guys didn't get this audio. Last bit of audio.
Yeah. But it's alright.
But yeah, it's like imagine that. Just have your kids be like, Dad, is this you? Is this Uncle Doug?
Yep.
Type of thing. It's like what's going on? And they see it and they're just like, oh wow, like this is like Dad went through this at this age.
Like, this is what he talked about.
It's like, oh, this is what my dad was talking about. This is what he went through and all this stuff. This is more of
this is the legacy he got to leave behind. Right, and so I think that's why we do it. You know, that's why I love doing it. You know, I wouldn't want to do anybody. This is why I choose. You know, occasion purpose. This is why, even though sometimes we go on hiatus, we go on breaks. You know, life gets crazy, and life is kind of crazy. Yeah. So there's a reason for every story, but at the same time, we were still able to get it back together and get here and get it done. Right, and there's so much. Like more, we have to unpack. Not have time today.
Oh, of course.
But eventually, we will get it.
One day we'll get it right. We'll get everything situated, and I feel like we'll have more time, and more of a thing. But people who watch us or you click on us accidentally or whatever, you can start watching.
Hey, us. Nano.
Thank you for watching us. Honestly, I mean, again, we just do it just cause, and we just it's a nice little conversation that we like to have. But again, we don't talk to each other that often. We don't text or call each other really that often. We kind of see each other once in a while, but when it's like, hey, want to go do this? I'm like, all right, cool.
And that's it.
And that's
nothing has changed.
Yeah, nothing has really changed.
That's what this is all about. We know.
So find your people like that. And if you guys feel like you guys are a little bit sad or feel like get that help. It's not hard to find that help, honestly.
What's the hotline? 810?
I don't know the hotline on top of my head, but we will put it in the description for you guys if you guys so choose need it. Again,
hit your boy up.
If you guys want it, it's there. That's pretty much it. There's no force or anything like that. It takes time, and I am understanding, and I very much know about taking time into getting that help. So, but it will be there, and we love you guys, and hope you guys are doing well. And you guys already know where to get us at. I don't think we already know. Occasion on Purpose. That's for us. Westside with Love. That's Josh. I'm who's_Doug. That's me. And remember, guys, if you're gonna do good
just because.
Amen.
I stole it, but bye. All right, let's go.